let's see, hockey fans. If I turn this all the way down, oh, that does. I think that's okay. It doesn't cut out. When I get excited. Perfect. I would like to apologize in advance for the rush music that you were forced to listen to. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, hockey fans of all ages and all genders, welcome to the 2025 Jefferson Community College Cannoneer Alumni Game. We are looking forward to a lot of fun, a lot of excitement, and potentially a new high value 50-50 raffle winner. Make sure you get your 50-50 raffle tickets. This may be the only time all year that Coach Obi's not selling 50-50 raffle tickets because he's going to be busy coaching a team. Now, in this game, we have the visiting team led by head coach James Obi O'Brien wearing the maroon sweaters, your JCC alumni team. Also known as them old guys. Versus the home team in white, led by coaches Rich Campbell and Terry Martin, your current Jefferson Community College student team. And here are your starting lineups, beginning with the visiting alumni. On defense, number 13, Casey Wilson. Oh, I remember Casey skating a lot faster when he was younger. On defense, number 48, Tyler Wilson. On offense, number 14, Owen Newton. Number 22, Bailey Dan-Dalin. And number 8, Zach Z-Chuck Evans. And in goal, protecting the net, number 45, Mason Patnode. Dude, I've been going crazy looking for that.
You left it on that counter, and I came down the next morning. Gee, somebody's gonna steal that. I better grab that. It must be down Wisner's.
And now, for your home team active student roster. Beginning on defense, number 7, Evan the Sandman Sanford. On defense, number 48, Daniel Keegan. On offense, number 8, Colin Whitmore. On offense, number 17, Charlie Gordon. On offense, number 23, Kyle Lamb. And in goal, protecting the net, number 32, Jarius Gross. Puck drop. Okay, at this time, we're going to have our ceremonial puck drop. Dropping the puck. Well, taking the face off for the puck. Taking the face off for the ceremonial puck drop to JCC alumni. Number 14, Owen Newton, and number 22, Bailey Dan-Dalin. Performing the puck drop, Jefferson Community College President Dan Dupuy. Dan has been absolutely instrumental. His support of not only this hockey club, but all of the students at Jefferson Community College is unmatched. Dan Dupuy, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you, Mr. President, for all that you have done for this Cannoneer hockey team. At this time, I would like to ask all who are able to please rise as we all stand united as one free country. Please remove your headgear, place your hand over your heart. Any active duty, veteran, or retired servicemen and servicewomen may salute as desired as we listen to the playing of our national anthem. Right now, if all of our players can line up with coach, let's get a big group picture of all of these hockey players. Oh, medical staff, it wouldn't be the same without you, and chances are, with this many hockey players this close to each other, somebody's about to get hurt. Oh, but not you. Walk like a penguin, hands out, shuffle, shuffle. This team photograph being taken by Estelle Dallin. Be sure to follow and like Photos by Estelle on Instagram and the Facebook. Our starting lineups are done. Ceremonial puck drop is done. Photograph is done. 20 minutes are up on the clock. The old guys are almost ready. You can see the burden of rent weighing heavily upon them. Thankfully, they've got their JCC education behind them to help them as they continue their successes in life and beyond. And now, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's play some hockey. All right, I think that cut out that time, didn't it? All right, so the home team in white are the active students, more or less. Visiting team are the alumni in maroon, more or less. Puck goes into the active zone, and oh, Bailey Dallin right there swept that puck over to the boards. Perhaps for a moment he forgot which team he's on. Putting the pressure on Connor Lamb, though, coming away with this puck. Dan-Dalin trying to get it away from Charlie Gorman. Does for a moment. Keegan picks this up. Puck comes out into the neutral zone, finds Connor Lamb. Lamb skates his way by Tyler Wilson. Lamb sends that puck across, bounces off the boards, picked up. There's Zach Blevins skating down. Blevins feeds this up to Tyler Wilson. Wilson back to Blevins. Blevins loses this puck in the corner. Now back in the corner again, Zach the attack Blevins. Calling for it. Casey Wilson, shot, save made. Whoa, that camera went too crazy. Connor Lamb picks that up in the corner, takes that behind his net. Lamb on the far side, cutting in front of Cam Weinbar. Stopped at the blue line by Jack Mills. Mills comes over towards the center slot position, moves his puck across, and it's taken away by Nate Van Wee. Mason Savage moves this into the corner, tries passing that across, and it is picked off by Josh Van Brocklin. Van Brocklin feeds this to Cam Weinbar. Weinbar, nice back checking done by Owen Bismarck to get that away from Weinbar. Now this puck sent in deep, centering pass made by Kyle Gionnet. And Jack Mills unable to convert. The pass back to Carson Barrett misses. Carson's got to skate all the way back into his defensive end to pick that puck up. Tried getting it by Busy, but Bismarck picks that puck up, comes around, shot, and a goal! Bismarck scores on Mason. Here's the face-off, won by the Alumni. JCC active student goal scored by number 19, Owen Bismarck. Unassisted by anyone on his own team, but boy, did Carson Barrett give him a nice feed. Time to the goal, 1:54 of the first period. Coming back, here's David Stern trying to slide his way through the middle. Puck gets knocked over to the corner. Stern picks it up, gets poked at. Sliding in to grab this was Drew Blevins momentarily sent back behind the active team's net. Passed up, Drew Blevins skates this away from Jack Mills. Passes it up for Evan Sanford. Sanford into the neutral zone. Dumps this puck into the far corner. Picked up by Carson Barrett of the Alumni. And now skating this out, Kyle Gionnet. Nope, not Kyle. That was Ryan Blevins. Excuse me. Casey Wilson comes over, trying to help out, get this away from Drew for Bailey. Moves forward. Picked up Ryan Blevins looking. Puck over on the far side. Shot, save, shot, save. Big saves made by Darius Grote. Bailey Dallin going over to take the face-off against Tanner Esposito. Esposito wins the draw. Nate Van Wee sends this back behind the net, picked up near side by Mason Jeeves. Fires it across for Colin Whitmore. Whitmore misses that puck, but Esposito brings this in deep, rips this all the way around, picked up at the point by Owen Van Brocklin. He turns this over to Zach Blevins. Zach skating around the active, turns, leaves that for Bailey. Shot wide right of the net. Owen Van Brocklin clears this out to the side. Owen picks up his own bounce off the boards, takes this out into the neutral zone, spin around Rama because he lost his footing. Puck picked up by Josh Van Brocklin. He feeds this forward for the Alumni offense. Blevins grabs it. Puck comes out into the neutral zone. Actives taking it back. Colin Whitmore into the O-zone. Whitmore goes into the corner with that puck. From the point, shot taken by Mason Jeeves. Save made by Mason Patnode. Shot at point-blank range by Whitmore. Patnode with the save. Puck comes out to the point for Keegan. Keegan puts this up the boards. Nobody there but Blevins. And Zach pulls this puck out. Goes to Newton. Newton feeds Blevins. Blevins and Barrett going in. Blevins to Barrett. Shot, save made. Darius Grote. from behind the net, Mason Jeeves. No, that's Kyle Gionette with that puck now. Sorry, I'm getting confused. 18 on which team? They're both JCC. Tyler Wilson in the neutral zone. Off the boards, feeds this over for Weinbar. Weinbar gives it right back to Tyler. Tyler skates up to the blue line, dumps that puck in, goes all the way around to the far side. And that gets popped out, and that goes out of play. And that's going to be a face-off down in the Actives end of the ice, because that's where that puck left from. Face-off pushed to the corner by Weinbar. Nate Van Wee back to play it. Charlie Gorman. Oh, not Charlie. That's Caden Perini trying to get that out. Nate Van Wee finds the puck on his twig again, feeds it up to Charlie. Gorman dumps this puck into the Alumni zone. Casey Wilson hustling back to the trapezoid, rips it around for Jack Mills. Mills pulls this off the boards out towards the middle. Grabbed there by Connor Lamb, tries sending his back in. Weinbar trying to pop it out. Lamb drops it down, sends it forward, and it's picked up again by Casey Wilson. Casey feeds this out to Kyle Gionette. Gionette gives this over to Cam Weinbar. Back to Gionette, but Kyle not able to reach it. He was coasting, not skating, and the smile on his face tells you he's having fun and forgot about effort. Lamb making moves, nothing happening, followed up and stuffed in by Caden Perini. Active Cannoneer goal scored by number 27, Caden Perini. Assisted by number 23, Connor Lamb. 27 from 23, Perini from Lamb. Time of the Active Cannoneers goal, 6:04 of the first period. And the active class leads by a score of 2-0. Puck passed over. Kellen Duffy drops this off for Busy. Busy shoots this wide left. Puck goes off the hash marks. Fired in by an advancing Evan Sanford. Picked up off the backboards by Mason Savage. Centering pass, shot, and a goal. Active class goal scored by number 11, Kellen Duffy. Assisted by number 19, Owen Bismarck. From number 71, Mason Savage. 11 from 19 from 71. Time of the Active Cannoneers goal, 6:53 of the first period. And they lead the Old Timers by a score of 3-0. Here comes Zach the attack. Oh, goes high, glove side, saved by Darius Grote. Keegan picks this up behind the net for the active class, drops it off for Tyler Sovey. Sovey in the neutral zone, trying to avoid Zach Blevins, goes wide left and loses that puck to the official. Picking it up is Tyler Wilson. He can't bring it out. He passes over to Owen Newton. Newton at the blue line feeds Zach Blevins. Little toe drag, loses that puck, and it's grabbed by Drew Blevins. From Zach to Drew. Zach attacks Drew. Drew comes out, passes this over to Mason Jeeves. Jeeves comes in, centering pass. Shot taken, save made, rebound picked up by Tyler Wilson. Tyler to Zach. Zach over the blue line again. Loses his puck in the slot. Grabbing it is Mason Jeeves. Jeeves tries flicking this forward. Caught by Zach. Blevins cycles around, feeds this back to defense for Carson Barrett. Barrett across, off the boards for Zach. Zach not able to catch it before that puck makes its way to Owen Van Brocklin. OVB feeds this to Nate Van Wee. Look at that rhyme. Oh, poet didn't even know it. Turn that into a Christmas song somehow. Nate Van Wee in deep. Turns, spins around. There's a shot. Save made. Swept away by Kyle Gionette. Kyle's going to skate by Bailey Dallin and Zach Blevins. Go in deep. Kyle rips a shot. Deflected off the skate of Owen Van Brocklin. He's got a little bit of a limp as that hit the side of his skate and in the ankle area. He'll be okay. Puck comes out high. Fired by Carson Barrett. Save made by Darius Grote. Puck goes behind the net. Alumni trying to keep it there. Gionette using his body size to keep that puck from Esposito. Up high, grabbed by Weinbar. Weinbar gives this to Mills, and that gets sent back out. Picked up Josh Van Brocklin at the point. Josh fires this diagonally to Weinbar. He couldn't catch it. Van Wee sends this off the boards for Mason Jeeves. Jeeves cycles around in his own zone, moves up into the neutral zone, crosses over the center line. Mason Jeeves picks up speed at the blue line and turns that puck over. David Stern backhands this up for Ryan Blevins. Here's Ryan Blevins. Ryan drops this for Weinbar, but Esposito read it like a book and took the cliff notes and grabbed that puck for himself. With the biscuit dropped off for Colin Whitmore. Connor Lamb in the corner battling for that puck. Carson Barrett comes away with it. Barrett's going to cycle this behind his net. Less than 10 minutes to go in the first period. Weinbar receives that pass, sends that off the boards up for Ryan Blevins. Ryan shot off the side of the net, picked up by defenseman Daniel Keegan. Keegan trying to skate that out past Owen Newton. Now it's grabbed at the point, fired across, goes right between the legs of Casey Wilson. A little tough to catch a pass like that. Wilson, soft pass over to Tyler Wilson. Tyler at the center point, loses that puck. It's knocked away. Evan Sanford trying to pull that out. He's trying to get by another Wilson. Comes back for it. Poked by Casey to Weinbar. Weinbar gives this to Tyler. Or Ryan Blevins? No, it was Ryan Blevins. Puck's ping-ponging back and forth in a little piece of the neutral zone over there. Cameron Weinbar just gives this to Tyler Wilson. Tyler passes this over to Jack Mills. Mills shot. Deflected off the goalie, off the glass, drops down. David Stern trying to keep it in the zone. Smacked forward. Weinbar over to Stern. Stern couldn't touch it in the back door. Now it gets passed over to Weinbar. Weinbar crisscrosses to Casey Wilson. He backhands this. Casey was just playing yesterday, and there's a save made. Casey's team yesterday from Pulaski played in the men's league, and they lost 7-5, I believe. So they actually had a really good comeback brewing over there. Don't forget to pick up your 50-50 raffle tickets in 8.5 minutes. There's going to be a mad rush to the 50-50 raffle table for everybody that's buying 50-50 tickets. Barrett fired that in, got tipped by Blevins, went wide of the net. Kellen Duffy drop pass to make himself go off sides, but Mason Savage knew better. Now he feeds this up for Bismarck. Busy shoots, misses wide left. Duffy on the far side, sends this back into the corner. Zach Blevins over there, pops his puck up high. Nate Van Wee comes back with it. Now it's cleared out into the neutral zone. Owen Van Brocklin goes to pick it up. OVB looking for Nate Van Wee. No, he's not. That puck picked off by Lenny Dormio. Oh, Lenny. Now this is fed out to Nate Van Wee. Nate, his own blue line now at the center line. Nate crosses over into the offensive zone looking for somebody to pass to. Might as well take the shot himself. Misses wide right off the backboard. Kellen Duffy sends this up the hash mark. Nate sends this up to the point for Evan Sanford, who fires this back into the trapezoid. Carson Barrett for the Alumni is going to grab that, trying to keep it away from Mason Savage. Savage gets it, sends it to the point. Duffy fires it in, gets redirected into the corner. Barrett plays it up. And this comes out and around with David Stern. He's able to feed Zach Blevins. Blevins turns around trying to avoid Daniel Keegan. Blevins has to bring this puck all the way back up. Center point now in the slot over on the far side, top of the circle. Sends this up to the top for Casey Wilson. Wilson, shot fired, and that just dances through the crease wide of the net. Barrett to Wilson. Wilson to Blevins. Zach. And Casey Wilson fires that shot. Save. Oh, it goes in. It goes in. And it's JCC Alumni. Oh, so JCC Alumni's first goal scored by number 8, Zach the Attack Blevins, assisted by number 13, Casey Wilson. Alumni's second goal scored by number 14, Owen Newton, assisted by number 19, Ryan Blevins. Time of JCC Alumni first goal, 13-11. Time of the second goal, 13-17. And it's a 3-2 game here at the Watertown Municipal Arena. Here's a shot deflected, goes off the back glass. Dan-Dalin tries bringing it out. Evan Sanford takes it away from him. Passes this across, and it goes right to Kyle Gionette. Gionette, little toe drag. Shot goes wide right. Picked up by the active class. Skating through with this, Tyler Sovey loses at the blue line, makes himself go offsides. Now they're onsides. Owen Ebersol with a shot, save made, rebound goes all the way down the length of the ice. 5:52 remaining in this period. Drew Blevins skating up with this puck. Drew over the blue line. Oh, that goes off the skate of Casey Wilson into the corner. Drew in to get it. Tried centering it. Cameron Weinbar got there in his way. Drew goes around the other side. Owen Van Brocklin fires that. Deflected off of Bailey Dallin. Cameron Weinbar picks this puck up. Weinbar is going to skate this forward. He goes over the blue line. In at the slot. Drops it off for Jack Mills, who shoots it over the goal. Weinbar from the trapezoid, and Jack Mills trying to stuff it in. Darius Grote holding on strong to that puck for the faceoff. It's off one by Weinbar. Quick shot and a save. Rebound. Another shot comes up high. And this is passed out into the neutral zone. Esposito. Tanner Esposito going in. Backhand shot goes around behind the net. Esposito chases after it. Jack Mills on the far side at the hash mark. Picks that puck up. Sends it back for Carson Barrett. And this comes out in the middle. Mason Jeeves fires that shot. Misses, comes over to the side. Weinbar picks it up, feeds it out, tried to hit breaking Jack Mills, missed Jack, and Nate Van Weed picks this puck up and goes back in deep. Puck stolen, though, by Carson Barrett. Carson loses that puck to himself. Tanner Esposito comes to help out. Puck makes its way. Mason Jeeves skates it out into the neutral zone. Jeeves tried to split the defenders. Picking that puck up behind him was Colin Whitmore. Loose puck, Esposito cycles this back up to the top of the offensive zone. Now drops it off for OVB. OVB, shot fired, save made. Rebound is loose, and it is picked up and cleared out by Jack Mills. Skating after Carson Barrett, but Nate Van Wee's going to get it first. Nate stops at the top of the circle, loses that puck. Weinbar to Barrett to Ryan Blevins. Here's Jeeves coming back with this puck. Puts it into the middle for Whitmore, and it never makes it to him. Whitmore passes it over to Jeeves. Centering pass. Esposito with the goal. Jefferson Community College active class goal scored by number 16, Tanner Esposito. Assisted by number 18, Mason Jeeves. From number 8, Colin Whitmore. 16 from 18 from 8, Esposito. From Jeeves from Whitmore. Time of the active class goal 16-17 of the first period. And that puck is stolen by Perini. Centers it up, and Mason Savage sends that back in deep. Connor Lamb tried to play it, gets ripped around. And I think that caught the netting. We're going to have a face-off in the Alumni zone. 3 minutes to go in this opening period. 4-2. The active class with the lead. Face-off comes back for the actives, and it's picked up by Lenny Dormio. Lenny skates this up into the O-zone, feeds this over to David Stern. Stern shot across, save made. And picking that loose puck up, active class, Tyler Sovey feeds this over for Perini. Perini loses this at the blue line. It comes back. Mason Savage has it. Savage back into the offensive zone. Drops this back for Charlie Gorman. Gorman tried returning it, and it gets picked off. Here comes Zach Blevins. Zach makes Bismarck turn the wrong way. Blevins, tried passing that over to Tyler Wilson and never able to make it. Loose puck goes to the slot. Owen Bismarck dives at it, and that tries to get cleared out by Charlie Gorman, and eventually it does. Bismarck with it. Bismarck to the O-zone. Bismarck getting wrapped up, drops that puck back to the Sandman, goes wide. Casey Wilson pops that puck up in the air, dropped down by Kyle Gionette, tried clearing, goes off the skate of Kellen Duffy, and picked up by Tyler Sovey. Sovey still with the puck on his twig, drops it back. Kyle Gionette picks it up, rips it all the way around. Bismarck grabs it at the hash mark, shot and a save. And Pat Node can't find that puck, but now he's recovered and has that post guarded. Puck fired forward by Casey Wilson. Tried to hit Ryan Blevins. Went into too much traffic. Kellen Duffy receives that puck from Bismarck. Duffy going in deep, centering pass. Sovey shot and a goal. Dallin's going to take the face-off against Drew Blevins. Drew puts a check on Bailey. Active class goal scored by number 13, Tyler Sovey. Assisted by number 11, Kellen Duffy. 13 from 11, Sovey from Duffy. Time of the active class's fifth goal, 18:36. Less than 1 minute of play remaining in the first period. Less than 1 minute remaining. And we've got an offsides call there. Dallin and Drew Blevins. Drew pulls this puck back to Nate Van Wee. Nate dodges Dallin, moves his puck forward, goes to Daniel Keegan. Keegan shoots this across, and there's a shot and a save. Rebound goes nowhere. Gionette passes that back. Dallin chops it forward, goes to OVB's legs, and the Alumni are offsides. Dallin putting some fisticuffs on Daniel Keegan. Dallin and Jack Mills come away with that puck. Mills in, shot and a goal. Jefferson Community College alumni goal scored by number 17, Jack Mills. Assisted by number 22, Bailey Dallin. 17 from 22, Mills from Dallin. Time of the alumni goal, 1938 of the first period. And that concludes our first period of play here at the Watertown Municipal Arena, home of Jefferson Community College hockey. Don't forget to pick up your 50-50 raffle tickets. The more you buy, the greater your chances to win even more. Keep on buying 50-50 raffle tickets. Find them out in the lobby. I am the Dan-Dalin, a positive influence. Make it a great intermission. I am the Dan-Dalin. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. Feel free to hit that bell for notifications. Like the video if you'd like. Then it'll save it in your list of liked videos. And you can go back and watch this alumni game over and over again. Shout out to my sponsors. Two Broke Moms, located on North Jefferson Street in Pulaski, New York, next to the Dollar General. Power Play Sports, exit 47 off Interstate 81 in Watertown. Top Notch Roofing, CNY.com. Glory Construction and Development. Streamside RV Park and Golf Course on Tinker Tavern Road in Pulaski, New York. And Divots Restaurant and Bar, located in the clubhouse of Streamside RV Park and Golf Course on Tinker Tavern Road in Pulaski, New York. On Saturday, April 18th at the VFW on Taft Road in Syracuse, we will be holding a benefit for Kevin Burns, part of Hockey Family. Kevin is also a local small business owner. He owns Affordable Auto Glass. Perhaps you've had your windshield repaired or replaced by Kevin Burns and his crew. Well, Kevin suffered a stroke recently and is currently learning how to walk again as part of his rehabilitation process. So this has absolutely devastated some close personal friends as well as part of our hockey family. Your hockey player may have played with Kevin's son, Will Burns. Maybe not. I don't know, but still hockey family. I will be emceeing that event on Saturday the 18th. It's $20 at the door to get in, or you can buy a ticket from somebody ahead of time like myself or Angela Keegan. And that $20 will get you a raffle entry into a door prize as well as admission to the event, where there'll be more opportunities to raise more money for Kevin Burns and his family, as they have mounting household bills as well as health bills. Any contribution, your support, helps me a great deal as I maintain my equipment and am able to provide this for you. No charge to JCC at all. So proud of Michael Ledoux and all of the boys on the team, how far they've come in just 3 short years here for the Jefferson Community College Cannoneers. If you can consider making a contribution via Venmo or PayPal, heck, even $1 or $5 goes a long way in helping to make sure that I can replace cameras when they break and cords and computers. It's endless, as well as cover the extra data plan I have to have on my cell phone when I've got spotty coverage for Wi-Fi in different arenas. Not in this arena. They've actually fixed that for us here, but I do have to request that every game. So anyway, I'll be back in about 5 minutes or so. You can keep watching the Zamboni go by, and I'm going to have to throw a YouTube commercial at you so they give me an extra fraction of a penny. I am the Dan-Dalin, a positive influence, and we'll be back after a great few minutes. Welcome back, hockey. Period number 2 coming up just for you. New goalies in the net for the Actives. Looks like Brody McGregor. And for the Alumni, number 1, I'm sorry, no, who's that? Is that King James? Comes across off the boards, and Ryan Blevins not able to get it. Esposito loses that puck to Zach Blevins. Blevins coming up, drops it off for Ryan Blevins. That puck is held in by Carson Barrett. Back behind the net, picked up by Evan Sanford. Loses that puck. There's a shot. Save made by Brody McGregor. Puck passed up for Mason Jeeves. Jeeves cycles this back in the neutral zone. That goes off of Zach Blevins' skate in just a tad bit deeper before it's able to clear it out by Mason Savage. Savage sends this up along the sideboard. Tyler Sobey going after it, grabbed by Barrett. Barrett feeds this over to Weinbar. Weinbar tried bank passing it to Blevins. Missed him, though. Mason Savage shoots that puck across. Turn back. Now Blevins skating around with this puck. Zach moves in. He's got Dalin to his right. Over to Dalin. Dalin swings and misses the one-timer. Puck gets picked up on the near boards by Tyler Sovey. He feeds this up. Bismarck centering pass to Kellen Duffy is missed by Duffy. Tyler Wilson from the hash mark tried feeding that puck forward, turned back by Busy, and Casey Wilson rips this around and ices that puck. We'll bring the face-off back down to, I don't know if that's Cole James or he's wearing a 1. Could be Avery Zenger. I don't know what kind of face-off that was, but it looked like fun. Puck comes up high, held in by Keegan, comes across, Busy with the clapper. Block save. I think that's Zenger. Bismarck moving in, shot, another save. That's deflected off and hits the netting. Face off push forward by the Alumni, skating out with it. Cameron Weinbar tries to get around OVB and does. Centering pass, and Dalin not able to get that on the far side. Casey Wilson with the clapper right into the glove of Brody McGregor. Weinbar with the face off. Pulls this back. Wilson shot, glove save, Brody McGregor. Weinbar pulls this over to the boards, picked up by Daniel Keegan. He bank passes this to Kellen Duffy. Kellen takes this into the neutral zone, trying to outskate Weinbar, and does. Brings this into the face-off circle, goes in deep at the hash mark, gets poked away. Duffy trying to recover. Bismarck comes over to help out Dalin, gets that puck away. It's swept away by Casey Wilson, and that comes up through the neutral zone. Kyle Gionette chasing after it, getting to it first, though. Mason Savage. Savage stops short at his blue line to lose Gionette, and he does. But OVB takes that puck back in front of his own net. Passes this back over to Savage. Savage taking his time. Fires that. It gets blocked by Dalin. Dalin gives this to Weinbar. Weinbar cycles this around. Feeds this up for Casey Wilson. Wilson with the shot wide of the net. Brody dishes this off. Weinbar picks it up. Barrett goes over to the point, holds this in, feeds this back to Cameron. Cameron over to Casey Wilson. Shot, save made. Duffy over for the rebound in the corner. Dalin pokes at it. It goes over to Mason Savage. Savage goes into his trapezoid. Bank pass off is caught by Casey Wilson. Wilson holding that puck, waiting for his team to check up on sides. As they do, he crosses over into the O-zone, feeds that forward, and David Stern not able to pick that forward pass up to try backhanding it along, just couldn't catch up to that puck. Barrett from the point feeds this over to Weinbar. Weinbar steps up, centering pass, shot, save, rebound. Weinbar out in front and nobody sees it. This puck comes all the way out through the neutral zone. Barrett drifting back, picks this puck up, sends it up. Wilson grabs this off the board, dumps it in on net. Another save by McGregor. Mason Savage picks this puck up and goes back into his trapezoid, chased after by David Stern. Mason Savage in at center ice over the blue line into the O-zone now. Loses that puck at the boards, dumps it in. Carson Barrett picks it up in his trapezoid. Barrett fires this over to the side. Drew Blevins centers it. Goes off as somebody skate back behind the net. Barrett grabs it there. Sends this through the air for Stern. Stern got a piece of it. It goes on net. And Brody's going to scoop that puck up. Oh, and he gets dusted by Lenny Dormio. Lenny Dormio, I've seen a better snow spray while on vacation in Florida. Face off won by the active. Savage banks this up off the boards. It makes its way through. Carson Barrett skating down after it. Stops at the edge of his trapezoid, fires this across. He meant to hit Lenny Dormio, but missed him. Nate Van Wee grabs that puck. Van Wee feeds us across to Drew Blevins. Drew across off the boards for Owen Ebersol. Ebersol in deep. Shot redirected by Blevins. Now comes out in front. Shot save made by Avery Zenger. Hey, thought they were doing a face off on the other dot. It's like Ryan Blevins squaring off against Connor Lamb. And it was a. And Tyler Wilson just like fell for no reason. Shot by Owen Newton. Save made. Actives from behind their own net. Mason Savage trying to keep it away from Newton and does. Feeds this up for Sanford. Oh, Sanford has it poked away. Zach Blevins has this. Feeds us over to the right side for Ryan Blevins. Zach steals this back, pushes this over to the boards, picked up by Charlie Gorman. Gorman, centering pass, 1T by Connor Lamb, save, rebound, goal. Active class goal scored by number 23, Connor Lamb. Assisted by number 17, Charlie Gorman. 23 from 17, Lamb from Gorman. Time of the active classes goal, 5:49 of the second period. There's a shot and a goal. Oh, a double poster by Tyler Wilson from the point. Cameron Weinbar moving in. Weinbar centering pass, and Dan-Dalin misses the backhand. He was right there, though, right where he needs to be. Alumni goal scored by number 48, Tyler Wilson. assisted by number 19, Ryan Blevins. 48 from 19, Wilson from Blevins. Time of the Alumni goal, 6:15 of the second period. Whitmore fires that up, grabbed by Weinbar to Dallin. Oh, Dallin didn't move his stick. I'm telling you, he should probably play with his glasses on. He's got contacts, but he's having a difficult time adjusting to putting them in properly and effectively. He'll get it, though. Mason Savage feeds this in deep for Esposito. Esposito wrapped up, comes away with the puck, though. Skates ahead with it. Esposito over to the center point, pass over to Sanford, shot, and save made by Zenger. Face off one by the Alumni. Lenny Dormio pushes this back. Now it comes up at the point, ripped back in by Sanford. And it gets deflected and goes out of play. Face off in the zone. Face offs now occur where the puck leaves from. No longer means who it touched off of last. That is a new rule this year. Jack Mills taking a face-off for the Alumni, pulls this puck back, and it gets sent out. Evan Sanford's going to win the race to that puck, though, as Brody passes it to him. Sanford passes it back behind himself for Savage. Mason coming up with that puck on the near side. Mason skates his way up to his own blue line, feeds this along the boards for Bismarck, who tried touching it out to Sovey, but it got stolen by Jack Mills. Mills sends this around, and it's taken away by the Actives. Kellen Duffy sends this back in deep. Tyler Wilson grabs it at the trapezoid, sends it around to Casey Wilson. Casey back to Tyler. Tyler from the edge of the trapezoid. He's going to skate this one up. A little soft pass to David Stern. Stern along the board still has that puck. Feeds it across to Casey. Casey hits Jack Mills. Mills loses this to Sanford. Sanford coming back with that puck poked away by Casey Wilson. Sanford takes this into the corner, centering pass. Nobody up that high. Coming back, Jack Mills picks this puck up at the blue line. Tried passing this across to Lenny Dormio. Led him by too much. Kellen Duffy takes that puck away and passes it to Savage, but misses him by too much. Savage plays this off the boards. Almost got picked off by David Stern. Now it comes back. Lenny Dormio with it. Sends this to the corner. He's got Ryan Blevins in with him, playing backdoor. Blevins over on the side at the hash marks, wait for that puck to come up to him. It's sent back in to the trapezoid for Sanford. Sandman tries cutting it out, blocked by Dormio. Dormio coughs it up, goes back to Mason Savage. Savage up over the blue line, 1-on-3, and that puck is poked away. Bismarck trailing, picks that puck up, cycles it around, feeds this over for Kellen Duffy. Duffy drifts back, shot. I don't think he made the save. I don't think it ever made it through. Puck comes up. Zach Blevins skating this up. Belevy on the right side makes his way towards the middle. Gets knocked off that puck. Bismarck picks it up. Bismarck sends that ahead, and he skates right into Lenny Dormio. Dormio looks to take a dive, but he's going to get the first penalty of the game. It's our first penalty of the day. And if you had number 15, Lenny Dormio, for roughing, then you're the FanDuel winner. Time of Lenny's roughing penalty, 9:47 of the second period. Lenny Dormio with the first penalty of the Alumni game. Puck comes back, shorthanded. Barrett fires this in, gets deflected. Brody with the save. Keegan takes this back behind his net. Battling him for that puck is David Stern. He gets sent back over to the far side. Nate Van Wee goes after it. Zach Blevins knocks it away from him, but Keegan picks that puck up. Keegan almost lost that to the blue line. Long pass to Drew Blevins. Drew is offsides. .120 in the power play for the active class. Face-off won by Zach Blevins, and that gets dumped in by Casey Wilson on net. Save made. Tyler Sovey picks that puck up, takes it behind his net. He's going to skate this. Oh, almost loses it. He's going to give it to Mason Savage. He almost turned it over to David Stern in the slot. Savage coming up has Stern on him. Stern playing nice. Savage going in deep into the trapezoid, coming around. Are they going to try to set up a play or not? Sends this all the way across to the point, back behind Charlie Gorman. I'm going to say that's not a normal play. Sovey trying to push this forward. Zach Blevins steals it. Couldn't feed that through the legs to go in shorthanded. Connor Lamb picks this puck up, goes into the O-zone, weaving his way through, has that puck poked away. Carson Barrett tries flicking this up, and Zach Blevins is going to try to outskate Caden Perini. Blevins in shot, glove save by Brody Van Brocklin. And Casey Wilson fires that, goes off the glass, comes all the way back out into the neutral zone. Wilson picks it up. He's got 18 seconds of a penalty kill left to burn. Mason Savage going after that puck. Oh, and Newton jumps on it. Newton battling for it. Sanford coming in the corner. Weinbar goes down. Taking that puck away is Charlie Gorman. And the teams return to even strength. Savage pops this out, and it's blocked. Picked up by Connor Lamb. Lamb back to Mason Savage. Savage just looking. Getting attacked by Ryan Blevins. Feeds this puck up to Connor Lamb. Lamb with a shot. And goes off the glass. Picked up Sovey. Feeds this across to Owen Van Brocklin. OVB being chased by Ryan Blevins. Coach Blevins to him. Feeds this up. Lamb to Esposito. Esposito drops this off for Mason Jeeves. Jeeves goes in deep into the corner. Feeds this all the way across, and it gets tipped by Owen Newton, and that's going to be an icing. Face off to the left side of Avery Zenger. Esposito taking a face off against Cameron Weinbar. Esposito wins, sends this over to the boards. Carson Barrett grabs it, though, puts it back behind the net. Casey Wilson fires this around. Kyle Gionette couldn't catch it. Turned back in by Savage. Savage kicks at it. Dalin trying to swat at it. And now taking it away, Colin Whitmore. Whitmore has that knocked free by Tyler Wilson. Puck goes in for Bismarck. Bismarck skates up with it, feeds this all the way across to Keegan. Keegan in deep to... I don't know. Mason Jeeves with it now. Jeeves up to Savage. Savage fires, gets deflected off the leg of Kyle Gionette. In deep, Tyler Wilson feeds this out to Bailey Dalin. Dalin touches it up. Keegan takes it away from him. Keegan dumps his puck back in, goes back behind the net. Zenger stalls it there. Barrett grabs it, fires this out for Gionette. Gionette slowed it down. Savage takes it, saucers it back up into the O-zone. Pushed back out by Tyler Wilson to Dalin to Weinbar. Weinbar, little toe drag across, loses his puck, tried passing it back to Tyler Wilson, missed him by a mile. Zenger plays this out, feeds this across his own zone. Bank pass intended for Barrett, but missed the 1T, and that's scored by Colin Whitmore. Brocklin with another save. I mean, not Van Brocklin. Oh my goodness. McGregor with another save. Active class goal scored by number 8, Colin Whitmore. Assisted by number 16, Tanner Esposito. From number 18, Mason Jeeves. 8 from 16 from 18. Whitmore from Esposito from Jeeves. Time of the active class is 7th goal, 13:55 of the second period. And the actives lead 7-4. It's only a 3-goal lead. As long as these alumni don't get gassed, they can come back. A lot of hard and accurate shooters on this alumni team. Puck comes out. It's taken away. Oh, tried to get stuffed in by Jack Mills. Not happening against McGregor. And that puck gets tipped into the alumni bench. Oh, so that's not Zanger, huh? Zanger's got black pads. So then I guess that is Cole James. He's wearing a number 1, though. Face-off won by the alumni. Fed back. Josh Van Brocklin feeds this up to Jack Mills. Mills moves this into the corner. Centering pass gets deflected. It's on the side of the net. And Brody McGregor covers it up. Less than 5 minutes to go in this second period. The active class leading 7-4. Mills taking the face-off against Bismarck. Mills wins. Wilson fans on that one. Puck taken away by Charlie Gorman. Gorman moves into the middle and back-checking. Casey Wilson gets that puck free. Bismarck shot, and it's a small bottle popper of a goal by Busy. It is now 8-4. It is confirmed that is Cole James in there for the alumni. Going on. Oh my goodness, we already picked it? How much did they win? Woo-hoo!
I was way up here because they said they needed it back.
Active duty goal scored by number 19, Owen Bismarck. Assisted by number 11, Kellen Duffy. 19 from 11, Bismarck from Duffy. Time of the active classes, 8th goal, 15:20 of the second period. Here's Ebersol coming back with this for the active shot. Save made. Cole James. Nate Van Wee coughs that puck up. Zach Blevins coming back with it. Blevins trying to weave his way into the slot. He follows that puck into the corner, sends this up to the point, and Carson Barrett decides to wait for it to come back into the neutral zone. Tyler Wilson fakes the shot or the pass. I don't know. He certainly did an active or a very effective wet noodle usage. Ebersol shot. Cole James save. Here, let me write this down. Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Drew Blevins with this puck, making his way towards the slot, pulls up at the top of the circle. Now the hash mark shot that gets tipped and deflected up into the netting. If you haven't purchased a 50/50 raffle ticket yet, you're too late. The winning ticket has been drawn. Get your 50/50 raffle tickets out to find out who's the winner of tonight's $35 pot. Winning ticket number 084-29924. So the last 5 digits, 29924. Congratulations, you've got $35. Go bring your winning ticket and collect your winnings at the 50/50 raffle table in the lobby area. Nathan Wee feeds this up to Owen Van Brocklin. OVB. Puck pulled away by Kyle Gionette, and it's dislodged by Drew Blevins. Now taken away by Casey Wilson and turned back by Daniel Keegan, and then Bailey Dallin, and now Owen Ebersol. Ebersol back to Keegan. Cleared out by Casey Wilson. Off the boards, picked up by Cameron Weinbar. Weinbar in. Centering pass goes behind Gionette instead of in front of him. And he's not flexible enough anymore as an alumni to be able to turn around that quickly. Drew Blevins overskates that puck. And he just mushes himself on sides. This puck can come in. Kicked away by Weinbar. Weinbar circles this around in the corner to maintain possession of this puck. Passes this over for Tyler Wilson. Wilson skates this up over the center line into the O-zone. Tyler goes into the trapezoid. Goretzky's office, if you will. And does not handle it the way Wayne does. Jack Mills with this puck in the corner. Loses it. Connor Lamb pokes it away. Lamb trying to skate out with it. And Tyler Wilson takes that puck away. He backhands that up to Cameron Weinbar. Back to Wilson. Wilson feeds this over to Barrett. Barrett with the clapper. Kick save. Brody McGregor. Puck comes over to the side, top of the circle, being forced out by Tyler Sovey. Sovey, one-on-one with Tyler Wilson, feeds this to Lamb, and back to Sovey for the bottle-popping goal. Less than 1 minute of play remaining in the second period. Less than 1 minute remaining. Active class goal scored by number 13, Tyler Sovey. Assisted by number 23, Connor Lamb. 13 from 23, Sovey from Lamb. Time of the active classes, 9th goal, 19:07 of the second period. Sovey bringing this in again. Takes this into the trapezoid, tries centering it, gets missed, held in by Charlie Gorman. From the circle, Barrett flicks this up, drops down at center ice, popped back by Mason Savage, and brought in by, Jack Mills cycles this back, and that's the end of the period. And that concludes our second period of play. At the end of 2 periods, it's the active class 9 and the alumni 4. Remember, you may not be old enough as an active classmate to celebrate with alcohol, but that doesn't mean that you can't help pay for the tab. Congratulations again to our 50/50 winner, that winning raffle ticket number 0842994. I am the Dan-Dalin, a positive influence, and we'll be back for the third and final period in just a few minutes. All right, thank you again for watching. I am the Dan-Dalin, a positive influence, and we'll be back. climb, but not as tall as the hill they had to climb both ways in the snow to get to class back in the day when they were students. All we need, are we going to leave the active goal open? The actives are taunting the alumni. They're saying, we'll play shorthanded with no goalie and take you old boys on. Now they're going to put two goalies in. Get your act together, boys. I tell you what, I don't see Coach Obi having these problems on his bench. Let's play some hockey! And there we go. Faceoff comes back to the alumni and grab by Ryan Blevins from the trapezoid. Sends us around to Owen Newton. Newton couldn't catch it. And that's going to go down for an icing. No, it's not. I'm kidding. Charlie Gorman rips that puck around. Mason Jeeves takes out Charlie Gorman, and they're having a sleepover. Oh my goodness, what are they doing? Coming back the other way. Tanner Esposito shot. Save made by Cole James. What was that penalty for? Alumni penalty, number 48, Tyler Wilson, 2-minute minor for tripping. Number 48, 2 minutes trip. Time of the minor penalty, I don't know, it was like 30 seconds ago. There's Sanford coming in, coughs that puck up. Newton trying to flick this out for Blevins. Blevins, it never comes around him the right way. Waiting for everybody to check up on sides is Gorman. They do, and he dumps it and chases. Puck sent up on the near side. Whitmore reaches for it, pokes it out into the middle, and this is ripped down for Blevins. Blevins going after it. Brody McGregor rips that puck up along the side. Weinbar shot, saved by McGregor. Rebound comes out in the middle, pass to Blevins. Back to Ryan Blevins. Blevins to Blevins. Glove down by Weinbar. Push forward, popped in the air. Glove down now by Mason Jeeves. Jeeves takes this into the trapezoid, drops it behind for Charlie Gorman. Gorman sends it back to Jeeves, who's made himself wide open. Feeds that out for Whitmore. Whitmore misses. Puck is played by Cole James. Stolen by Casey Wilson behind his own net. Wilson working it up on the far side. Hits Blevins at the blue line. Blevins winds up, comes into the middle, and that is blocked by Daniel Keegan. That puck gets sent back. Carson Barrett. Teams return to even strength. Oh, Coach Trudeau. The team with 9 is winning, Connor. The white team, the active class, not Bailey's team. Bailey's playing on the alumni team, and he has missed 3 wide open one-timers. But yeah, Coach Trudeau, man, you would have had a blast. We're having a lot of fun here. It's a 9-4 game, but lots of joking around going on. We had a face-off taken from the knees before, so that was kind of interesting. That net came off of its moorings. It's going to get reset. Drew Blevins facing off against Weinbar. Weinbar wins, gets this over to Barrett. Barrett rips this around for Kyle Gionette. Gionette into the neutral zone. Soft touch for Weinbar. Weinbar pulls this over into the offensive end. Weinbar puts this into the corner for Kyle. Shot, save McGregor. Comes back to Gionette in the trapezoid. Puts this out to the point for Carson Barrett, who one touches it across for Josh Van Brocklin. He can't play it off the boards. Ebersol comes over, passes to Drew Blevins. Save Cole James. Josh Van Brocklin, JVB, rips this around. Weinbar tries feeding it back to Barrett, stolen by Owen Ebersol. Ebersol in the corner, centering pass is poked away. Reaching for it, David Stern. Stern cycles this back into his trapezoid, skates this out, goes behind Drew Blevins and loses the puck, so he just gives it to Josh Van Brocklin. Van Brocklin hits Barrett. Barrett trying to come out. Oh! Puck got poked away, but Barrett catches it in the air and drops it down onto his blade, feeds it back into the neutral zone. Daniel Keegan turns it back. Keegan winds up, shot, and on the wrong side of the post, Keegan picks that bouncer off the netting in the trapezoid, gives it over to Ebersol. Ebersol comes up from the corner, has that puck poked away. Gionette feeds it back, and Cameron Weinbar flicks this forward. Missing it in the neutral zone is David Stern. He looks gassed. I don't know when the last time David Stern had this much cardio. He can come over and shovel the snow in my driveway if he wants some good cardio. That puck ripped in by Ryan Blevins. Save made by Brody McGregor. Drew Blevins comes up, picks this up, moves it around his own teammate Nate Van Wee, brings this into the offensive end. Drew makes his way to the goal. Shot, save, Cole James. Rebound picked up by Ryan Blevins. Ryan sends this down, taken away. Charlie Gorman moves this back into the neutral zone, and Mason Savage for the active class. Passes this puck over to Nate Van Wee, back to Mason. Mason loses this. The Alumni coming in. Weinbar has that swept away by Mason Savage of the active class. Casey Wilson fans on that puck from the point. Savage for the actives gets this out. Knocked down by Wilson, but Kellen Duffy brings this in for the actives in the slot. Can't get that shot off as Wilson's leaning on his stick in the puck. Duffy from the corner gives this to Jeeves back behind the net, feeds us out in front. Shot taken from the top of the circle by Charlie Gorman. Misses. This puck comes around out through the neutral zone down to the actives end off the stick of an Alumni. So that is an icing. Ooh, Ohio. Well, Ohio's fun. Any messages you would like me to relay to the boys for you, Coach Trudeau? From the point shot, Gorman gets deflected by Bismarck, saved by Cole James. Rebound shot taken by Kellen Duffy, and another save by Cole James. He holds on to this one. We'll have a face-off on the right side. 14:01 remaining in this game. The active class leads the Alumni 9-4. Coming in for the active class, Charlie Gorman centers it, and it's taken away by Jack Mills of the Alumni. Mills and the corner, fancy stick work to keep that puck, spins around to avoid Bismarck, gives this to Casey Wilson. Wilson's got Evan Sanford riding on him, brings this all the way up into the offensive end, offensive corner, now into the trapezoid before Casey locks that up against the boards, coming in to help out Lenny Dormio. Frees that up for Bailey Dan-Dalin. Dan-Dalin fires that on net. Rebound. Dormio not able to get that in. And Dan-Dalin back checking, able to keep that puck in, gets it away from Bismarck. Bismarck shoves Dan-Dalin to the ground. Dan-Dalin gives Busy a hit from behind. In retaliation, Dan-Dalin's trying to start a fight, I think. And he's going to get tossed as well. have incidental minor penalties. Active class number 19, Owen Bismarck, 2-minute minor for cross-checking. And alumni number 22, Bailey Dallin, 2-minute minor for roughing. Time of the incidental minor penalties, 6:43 of the third period, 5-on-5 hockey. Actives bringing this puck up. Mason Jeeves brings us into the neutral zone, into the offensive end. Stops at the face-off dot on the left side as he's coming in. Pass this across off the boards for Tyler Sovey. Sovey can't catch it. Brought into the neutral zone by Jack Mills. Now Jack retreats back into his own zone. Stretch pass to Ryan Blevins on the blue line. Blevins backhand shot save made. Brody McGregor. And coming in is Lenny Dormio. Another shot. And this time McGregor holds on to that puck for the faceoff. Just under 12 minutes to go in this game. 9-4. Alumni need to pick up 5 here somehow. Zach Blevins taking the faceoff for the Alumni. Wins the faceoff, but second attempt, Esposito pokes that puck to Daniel Keegan. Keegan fires this up, and it's stolen by Ryan Blevins at the center line. Ryan to Zach. Zach shot off the leg of Keegan. Goes into the corner. Zach's getting wrapped up by Tanner Esposito. Esposito looking for help. Zach feeds this puck out across. Misses everybody. Comes out into the neutral zone. Ryan Blevins fires this across. Tanner Esposito steals it for the Actives. Brings us into the offensive end. Into the trapezoid. Cycles around at the corner on the far side. Sends this off the back of the net, and it goes to Zach Blevins in the corner near side. Zach is going to skate this puck up. Hits the center line. Zach's going to go through everybody, loses it. Newton feeds this back up to Zach. He has to take it into the corner. Zach cycles around into the slot and, tries to pass it over for a trailing Owen Newton on the near door. It wasn't back door, but Newton missed it. Nice play that I've seen those two do for years, sometimes achieving it. Ryan Blevins over the blue line, gives this puck to Zach. Zach drops it back to Casey Wilson, fires from the point. Save made by Brody McGregor. Heel holds onto that puck for the faceoff. All right, it's been 2 minutes and a whistle, and Bismarck and Dallin are released. They go back to their benches. Face off to the right side of Brody McGregor, Zach Blevins, and is that, I can't tell if it's Sanford or Gorman. It's probably Gorman. No, it was Evan Sanford. Wins that faceoff, pulls that puck over to Mason Savage. Savage hits Esposito at the center line. That puck comes all the way into Cole James, who covers it up for the save. After the whistle, it got poked in, and now there's a pretend headlock. Tanner Esposito is skating around with Carson Barrett in a headlock now, and he lets him go. We'll have a face-off now on the far side. 10:34 to go. Puck is dropped. Zach Blevins just holds his stick out, and by doing so, wins the face-off from Evan Sanford. Puck ripped up by Josh Van Brocklin off the boards, taken by Tyler Wilson, leaves it for for Zach Blevins, and a shot that gets blocked, goes up in the air, drops down. Zach takes it up to the top of the point. Shot fired, save made, rebound, Gionet bangs it in off the Brody McGregor. And a near alumni goal scored by number 18, Kyle Gionet. Assisted by number 8, Zach Blevins. 18 from 8, Gionet from Blevins. Time of the alumni goal, 9:49 of the third period. And it's now a 9-5 game in favor of the active class. Mason Jeeves brings it in, toe drag, and then fires at off the top of the glass. I call that a giant miss. Coming back the other way, Tyler Wilson feeds this to Gionnet. Shot, save, rebound comes up. Wilson, Tyler got another shot on, and Drew Blevins clears this away, gets this puck up to Ebersol. Ebersol passes this back out to Drew. Drew through the neutral zone, over the blue line, through the slot. Cole James misses. Oh, it's not Cole. It's Mason Patnode's in net now. Look at the flow coming out from under that bucket. Only Mason Patnode could do that. He must have just come in halfway through the period. That makes sense. And Mason kicked the net off. So the official's going to fix that, and we'll have a face-off off to Mason's right side. That's his stick side. Just under 9 minutes to go in this game. Drew Blevins facing off against Weinbar. Weinbar pulls this puck back for Ryan Blevins. Ryan feeds this all the way over for Weinbar, and that's an icing. Missed Weinbar by too much. From too far behind. That puck is iced. We'll have a face-off on the left side of Mason Patnode now. Blevins, and it's Drew Blevins and Weinbar. Puck got caught on the skate of Jack Mills. He almost moved out of the zone with it and didn't even know it. In the neutral zone, that puck fired across goes off of Drew Blevins back to Charlie Gorman. Gorman from his end of the ice passes up to Owen Van Brocklin. OVB skates this back into the faceoff circle on the left side of Brody McGregor. Now from in front of his net, sends this out into the neutral zone, pulled by Ebersol. Owen Ebersol into the O-zone, tried passing it across, puck taken away by Jack Mills. Jack feeds this into the neutral zone. Owen Van Brocklin grabs it. And I think they're going to call offsides. OVB was dancing with that puck on the blue line. I didn't think he ever crossed it all the way into the offensive zone, but I guess he did, because there was still an alumnus in the zone. So that was offsides when he tried to pull it back. Face-off won by the alum. Casey Wilson drifts back with it, sends it up the boards. Cutting it off, though, is Kellen Duffy. Moves this forward. Kellen sends this into the neutral zone. Now on the far side, Bailey Dallin catches this off the boards. It goes twice off of Jeeves, once by Dallin and then once by Owen Newton. Mason Jeeves still with it. Hard pass across to Bismarck. Bismarck shot, kick, save by Patnode. Rebound picked up by Kellen Duffy. And Kellen loses this to Dallin. Dallin moves this in around Jeeves. Coming in from behind is Lenny Dormio to hold that puck in. Now it's turned over, and Mason Jeeves feeds this up. It gets passed over to Sanford. Sanford loses it, and this puck comes out into the neutral zone, and that is an offsides for the active class. 7:18 remaining in this game. 9-5 active lead the Alumni. Owen Newton facing off against Evan Sanford. Newton wins the draw. Lenny Dormio can't handle that puck. Bismarck steps up and takes it away. Shoots on net. Save made. Dallin on the far side. Can't get that puck out. Coming in behind is Josh Van Brocklin. He does bring this puck into the neutral zone. Tried passing it across to Lenny Dormio. Gets deflected. Evan Sanford shot and a goal. The Sandman with his first point of the evening. And the first goal in the third period for the active class. JCC active class goal scored by number 7, Evan the Sandman Sanford. Unassisted, number 7, unassisted. Time of the active class's goal, 13:04 of the third period. And they now lead 10-5 over the Alumni. Carson Barrett on the near side for the Alumni. Centering pass is grabbed by Weinbar. Weinbar backhands this to Barrett at the hash mark. He steps up, bottom of the circle. Shot fired. Goes off of McGregor on the far side. Picked up by Blevins. Blevins skates this, circles it all the way around back into the corner. Now centers this puck. It gets deflected away, and Josh Van Brocklen can't hold it in. Puck gets turned over. Tyler Sovey moving up, toe drag around Van Brocklen, but he's forced into the trapezoid. Sovey still with it off the far corner. Now he comes back, bottom of the face-off circle. Takes a shot, goes off the side of the net, back behind the goal. Connor Lamb puts this over to the side, taken back by the Alumni. Carson Barrett skates this out into the neutral zone, moves it around Daniel Keegan. Barrett, backhand pass intended for Kyle Gionnet. Or I'm sorry, no. Zach Blevins, and it went on the wrong side of Blevins. He wasn't looking that way. He was looking left, not right. Kyle Gionnet with this puck comes over top of the slot, and that gets kicked away by Caden Perini. Casey Wilson comes all the way back in front of Mason Patino to pick that puck up, fires it forward. It gets dumped into the Actives end of the ice. Owen Van Brocklen picks that up, rips it around. It's stolen by David Stern. Stern passes this to the middle, and the clapper by Ryan Blevins misses, sails high off the glass. Ryan centers it to Zach. Nothing to it, goes all the way across. Pass back to Zach is missed, and here comes the active class. Tanner Esposito brings this in, and he pushes Casey Wilson down to the ice after Wilson sweeps the puck away. Wilson a little slow to get up, but I think he's being dramatic. Puck taken away on the far side by Tyler. No, taken back. Tyler Sovey tries to toe drag this by Casey Wilson. Ends up drifting into the corner. Picked up by Connor Lamb. Lamb over to... Oh! No goal. That goes off the crossbar. Esposito hit bar out. This puck sent in deep. That gets caught in the rafters. We're going to have a face-off in the neutral zone, I believe, is where that left from. Now we're going to go all the way down to the Actives end. Why not? 4:17 to go in this game. 10-5. Actives lead the Alumni. Sandman and Weinbar with the face-off. Weinbar sends this into the corner. David Stern goes after it in the trapezoid. Jack Mills helping out. Pulling that puck away, though. Mason Savage comes over to the side, and Stern takes it. Stern pulls this out past Whitmore, trying to feed it back in, and now it's turned over, or it's given to Jack Mills. Mills comes over center point, fires it. That gets blocked. OVB feeds this up to Whitmore. Whitmore carries this over the blue line into the ozone. Colin centering pass, and Sanford's shot is kicked away by Patino. Puck comes into the near corner. Wilson trying to get it out. Esposito sends it into Sanford. Back to Espo. Poked away by Ryan Blevins. Ryan feeds this over to David Stern. Stern brings us into the offensive end. Picks that puck up again in the trapezoid. Looking at Ryan, he drops it behind him, and the only person there is Mason Savage for the active class. Savage ahead. Esposito in the slot. Savage forced into the corner. Esposito stops at what's now the near post. Savage all the way up to the point, fires his puck across for Drew Blevins. Drew gives this to Whitmore. Drew with a shot, and it misses. Casey Wilson grabs this puck and rips this all the way around and down for the icing. And we'll have a face-off next to Mason Patnode with 3:02 to go in this 10-5 game. Face-off. Puck is locked up. Actives pull it away. Nate Van Wee. Now the puck goes back to Charlie Gorman. Sends this in. Ebersol feeds this over to Savage. Savage to Gorman. Gorman across to Nate Van Wee. Van Wee on the far bottom of the face-off circle. Now he skates this back behind into the trapezoid. Up to Gorman. Shot save made by Patino. Puck goes on the far side. Point position. Mason Jeeves with it. Jeeves to the slot. Over. And Drew Blevins misses the one-timer. Blevins recovers with that puck, feeds it in front. Ebersol misses the tip in front. And Carson Barrett receives this puck for the Alumni, brings us all the way down to the offensive end, right down the middle of the ice, turns it over. Drew Blevins comes back, passes this over to his right side for Nate Van Wee. Van Wee out in front, loses that puck. Zach Blevins with it at the corner. Blevy, bank pass for Barrett. Barrett doesn't know his angles, doesn't catch up to that puck. Instead, Charlie Gorman does. Gorman feeds this across. And the Actives rip this out into the neutral zone. Caught by Blevins in the neutral zone. Blevins trying to get this back in. His puck is taken away. And when Ebersol breaks into the offensive end for the Actives, passes over to Drew Blevins. He comes around and moves that puck around Mason Patino for the goal. Who did I say gave that to Drew? I forgot. Oh, Ebersol. That's right. JCC active class goal scored by number 88, Drew Blevins, assisted by number 14, Owen Ebersol. 88 from 14, Blevins from Ebersol. Time of the active class goal, 18:22 of the third period. Kellen Duffy steals this in the neutral zone, brings this into the offensive end, passes it across, misses Sovey. Sovey plays this off the boards, puts it into the corner. Duffy shot, Patnode with the save. Oh, sorry, bad camera. Duffy calling for some relief. He wants a change. Alumni feed this all the way up. Tyler Wilson turns this over. Sovey picks it up in the corner. Less than 1 minute of play remaining in this game. Final minute of play. Connor Lamb loses that puck. Gionet with it. Shot. Rips it off the glass. Tyler Wilson on the far side, bottom of the circle, loses that puck. It's taken away by Mason Jeeves. Jeeves feeds this all the way down. Sovey in the offensive end just dumps that ahead, or tried to dump it ahead, but Ryan Blevins just stole it from him. Feeds this puck back up for Lenny Dormio. 15 seconds, 12 seconds to go. And there's a shot taken by Wilson, Tyler, of the Tyler type. Tyler again at the dot, shot. Another save by McGregor. And that's going to do it. And that concludes an exciting alumni game here at the Watertown Municipal Arena, home of your JCC Cannoneers. After we factor in the alumni handicap, this game ends in a 11-11 tie. How's that? We'll give 6 to the alum. We're done collecting money from them, so we might as well give them some points. Thank you all for coming out here. Thank you to Coach Michael Ledoux for all of his work and all of his efforts in putting this team together so we can have alumni and have an alumni game. Thank you to, who's it? Blevins and Newton for putting this alumni game together, for making the rosters and getting the word out. Congratulations to all of our players. Thank you to the officials for, following the rules. So thank you all for your support. Coach Trudeau says, great game, everyone. He wants everyone to know that he was watching from Ohio. So from the Watertown Municipal Arena, that concludes this year's alumni or Cannoneer alumni game. I am the Dan-Dalin, a positive influence, asking you to please get home safely. And remember, don't wait for it to be a good day. Get out there and make it a great day. Right. So that concludes our alumni game here from the Watertown Municipal Arena. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this game and enjoyed the commentary. I'm only able to do what I do because of the generosity of my sponsors and viewers like you. If you would like to help support my endeavor of providing live streamed ice hockey with play by play action with minimal cost to the teams, any contribution or donation to my Venmo or PayPal account is greatly appreciated and humbly accepted, as humble as I can be. Even $1 or $5 goes a long way. If every viewer did that, then I would have brand new equipment and this would be crystal clear quality. But regardless, doesn't matter. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for watching. I am the Dan-Dalin, a positive influence, reminding you don't wait for it to be a good day, make it a great day.